Every nigga is a star. Who will remind you that you and I are every nigga is a star. 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 Every nigga is a star.
Hi guys. Welcome back to another episode of Nobody Asked Me But Did You Miss Me? I Missed You. We are going to jump right in because unorganized Elsie always is jumping and running from the next part to the other. But welcome Big Dawg Tash!
Chasing behind Elsie.
Oh God, I hate it. I'm so sorry guys. I'm going to be better. Nope, not going to be better yet because still missing important stuff. How was your week? How was your last 2 weeks?
Mine?
Yeah.
Busy. And trying to get busier, so, you know.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all trying to get busier? And not like the crippled deer in the yard.
Exactly.
Natasha had a crippled deer in the yard, and the deer was still trying to have sex with his partner, and the partner was like, "Girl, sir,
if you don't
park
get your limp leg off, literally, the leg is hanging by a thread.
Your limp noodle.
The noodle was not limp.
Ooh, that's gross. All right, so. God, we do not promote bestiality on this show. Not a thing of ours. Also, no, I won't do that to her. She'll be so upset. Okay, let's get right into
Oh, boy.
My week was great. What happened in the last couple weeks? Well, John was here.
Yeah,
Shout out to John.
that was such a great
That
episode.
was a great episode. So much fun.
I kept coming up with albums after albums.
Yeah, and then I went home.
The Boys' Mind was an album.
That's a great one.
That like stuck out of my head.
Oh my God, Monica the Boys. I'm telling you, that Amory All I Have album. I went back to revisit Teardrop Moses' album with the you must. You absolutely, after we get off of here, that is your homework.
Okay.
You got to go back and listen to the Teardrop Moses album, Complex Simplicity. Whoa. It is the birth of hood rat trap. Birth of hood rat trap R&B. And she has a song, if I believe in what I say is true, then there's a girl out town here claiming you. And listen, daddy, I'm too cute to fight. You better get that bitch told tonight. TS played that shit every fucking day. Shout out to TS. Woo!
Hey, TS.
Hey, and she played that shit every day, and that album is fantastic. But yeah, shout out to John and Ivana. They were both such a joy. Thank you guys for coming. I had such a great time. John is also having a living room tunes event on March 13th, and I'm going to be sure to put that in the description box, so make sure you guys buy your tickets. I believe it is March 13th out in Atlanta, so if you guys are in the area and you want to go listen to some live music and to some new artists, it's going to be a wang dang doodle. So let's get right into our Jet Beauties of the Week.
Boom, dynamite! Boom, boom, dynamite! Our team is boom, dynamite! Boom, boom, dynamite! Our team is tick, 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 tick. Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some booty in it. Boom!
So for our Jet Beauties of the Week, we have, okay, well, first of all, in the last couple weeks since we've been here, we had a couple of really unfortunate passings. So we want to give a special shout out and condolences to the following 3 women who have definitely pushed our culture forward, whether it was in the entertainment sense or it was in the cooking or modeling sense. So we want to give a special shout out to Jeanette DuBois, who was Walona on Good Times, and said that she passed in her sleep.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing happened with Esther Scott, who was like TV legend. Like she was on, y'all will correct me, but I feel like she was on the Women of Brewster Pace for a little bit. She was definitely on. The younger generation knows her from the grandma from You Got Served. Elgin Barge in the Third. I asked you a question. She hit that N so hard. And T.S. and I still say it to this day. But she was just like one of those TV actresses that you would see all the time.
All the time. Mm-hmm.
In a lot of different shows. And then this one really upsets me because it just makes me so sad. But B. Smith passed. So B. Smith was like this big time like chef and also model. And she had this restaurant in the city which was delicious. It's actually one of my fondest memories.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Why it makes me so angry is because her sorry ass husband.
Why did we learn about the drama? But like,
so she had early onset Alzheimer's, and her husband brought in his girlfriend to live up in her house, and she of course wasn't Black or Latina, so you fill in the blanks, and just had her in there. And she while B. Smith was sick, and so that really always upsets me because I just kind of feel like, you know, even if when I marry somebody, when Clifford, you know, and I decide to take that leap, it's not going to be on some I'm married to you except when you can't remember what your name is, or I'm married to you except when, you know what I mean? And it's like, I understand that people will have needs, but it's like, does it need to be in our house? In my face? This is literally the house that I built, and you got it's just so trifling. So it's for me, it's a really unfortunate way for a legacy to end. But nonetheless, she was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. She was like 70, didn't look 70 at all.
Not at all.
Looked not a day over 50.
Yes,
and she
trifling.
was
just
beautiful.
Through.
You're looking at it now. It is got to be the worst story. It also causes for another discussion on Nobody Asked Me, but we'll save that for another day.
Also, I mean, you know what? I can't say that it's trifling because I wasn't in their relationship. I don't know what they talked about or agreed to.
Absolutely.
Because it could have been something that she was okay with, and they talked about it before her disease progressed. So, I mean, I don't know.
I also have breaking news. I just opened my Shade Room account. R.I.P. B. Smith. I just opened my Shade Room account. Fucking Elizabeth Warren just dropped out of the campaign race.
I mean,
it's not that I didn't know it was coming. I just didn't want it to happen.
My beef is that everybody's now endorsing Biden. Like,
why?
Why?
No. Whatever. Special honorary Jet Beauty of the Week goes out to my girl, EW. I was rooting for you, girl. And she is clearly the obvious candidate. But we're going to hold on to EW because EW is she's not literally part of what we're going to talk about today. But what we're going to talk about today is a broader discussion. But this is part of it. Oh, it makes me so angry. But that's okay. I understand.
Did she say who she's endorsing?
No, not yet. I didn't look at it yet because I don't want to know. Last but not least, so Jaleesa and I went to a Afrobeat Soca Zumba class out in East Orange.
And you didn't tell me. Shame.
Shame.
More shame.
More shame. Well, lucky for you, It's every Thursday.
Okay.
And it's free.
I love those words.
Please, Jesus. I know some of those words. That's some good burger.
Zumba and free? Yes.
Black Afrobeat Soca Zumba that's free every Thursday in East Orange.
All words at the top of my list in my vocabulary.
And at the end, she gives out free produce. You can go like shopping.
Shut up.
So she has like ginger and eggplant and and it's like you just bring
all
it back.
All things I use, and all of them are free.
Right. She just has it there, and like what happens, I guess, is that the PTA bands together, and then we tip the PTA.
Where is this?
It's in East Orange. So,
okay.
But her name is Tia Sawyer. She is beautiful woman. I always think when people have a low cut or a bald cut, that is like the highest power of beauty.
Thank you.
I feel like yes, okay. Big Dawg Tash has this fab-ass Lolo Caesar, and I wasn't expecting it because the last time I saw her hair was growing in, but when I tell you she's like over hair, and she's like, I need a low cut. And I was actually just telling her before we got started that my hair was short too, but like you really need a nice head because the back of my head looks like a slope, like a slide, and just come right down. Beautiful woman. She has 2 kids, and one of her kids came out a little earlier. And so that was like a whole thing. So I think she had to take a break for a little bit. But when I tell you, not only is she active, that the class is difficult, but it's so much fun. And she just has all this great energy. And then during stretch time, she has this little tiny moment where she like preaches about it. And she preaches about like the things that are happening in the community. And, you know, she wants people to be better to our children and, you know, talk to people about stuff, talk to your children about stuff and don't be afraid to let them ask questions. And it was really just a fabulous experience of Black women doing fantastic things, not just for themselves, but for the community, and we can all get involved. And then it didn't cost anybody anything.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's amazing, and it's been happening. We were there, but when Julissa and I got there last week, people are out, at least 50 people, at least 50 moms and aunts and nanas,
Wow,
cousins, sisters, and the like are out there getting it. And they were like, yeah, it's every Thursday. And it just has to be the most fantastic thing I've ever witnessed in my life. So Tia SAWYER, Esther Scott, Janet DuBois, B. Smith, and Elizabeth Warren. You guys are my Beauties of the week.
it's like a you know, a melancholy.
Oh my God. It's just so annoying. Yeah. It's just so annoying. But we'll get back to that. So we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. This episode of Nobody Asked Me But is brought to you by Soul Music Entertainment. If you're looking for a professional recording studio to record your music projects, podcasts, voiceovers, or whatever your audio needs are, for a reasonable price, look no further. Visit soulmusicent.com. That's SOHMUSICENT.com for more details. You can also follow them at Soul Music ENT, which is SOHMUSICENT on Twitter and Instagram for a free consultation. And a special shout out to Mr. Ash, the engineer who mixed and edited our podcast today. And you can follow him at Mr. Ash X, which is MRASHX. They have some of the best engineers here at Soul Recording Studios, so don't wait any longer to make your dream project a reality. Visit soulmusicent.com or call 929-900-6044 now. And let's get back to our show. Okay, and we're back. Really, really quick, I want to just say that Vanessa Bryant, you are also a Jet Beauty of the Week. Last week, I believe, or the week before last, was the memorial service for Gianna and Kobe, which was absolutely heartbreaking. And I really only saw clips of it because I would have been...
It's hard.
It's really hard to watch. But Vanessa Bryant literally had the strength of 7 lions and got up there and sent her husband and her child home in the most eloquent, calm, and peaceful way. And it never I don't know why I'm so close to it. I guess it's because we all grew up with him and because it just hits really hard still.
He was so young, and
then your kid, and then it's other people's kids, and it's just a lot of things. And she also is suing the helicopter company, which she absolutely should. And so, Vanessa Bryant, you two are Jet Beauty of the Week.
Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? Love is good. I can't dig it.
All right. So, nobody asked me, but mind your business. Actually, that's not the title of this week's show. It's Nobody Asked Me But Cut My Check Part 2. Protect your artists. So, my beloved, educated, tall, sophisticated queen, Megan Thee Stallion, got on Instagram live the other day and explained the situation with her and her record label. And she said that when she first signed with them, everybody was so excited. And it's an independent label, 1501. It's an independent label, which is run by Evelyn Lonzada's ex-baby's father, which is nuts since he plays baseball, but whatever. People can play baseball and do music at the same time. I'm just saying it was crazy for me to hear that.
Yeah.
She said when I first got signed or whatever, everything was great. They are following, as she said, and I quote, they are following the Megan Thee Stallion train. Anything that I want to do, I'm allowed to put out anything I want. I'm allowed to put out everything I want. We're fine. I then got real management, according to her. She said, I got real management from Rock Nation's management. Rock Nation is not her record label, but they're the ones that book all of her stuff. Mm-hmm. They're all of her lawyers. That's all of her, like, if you think of it as business, it's all of her operations staff. Mm-hmm. And they saw her contract and they said, hey, do you know that's in your contract? And she was like, honestly, I read it, but I was like 19 or 20. So I didn't really get all of the verbiage, and they didn't really explain it to me.
And nobody would.
And no one would.
Label. Nobody's going to sit there and explain
it. And so...
because they're banking on you not understanding.
So, signed it. She then asked...
to renegotiate.
Can I renegotiate my contract? And they said no. And it turned into this whole big thing. Now... usually, Girls and Gargoyles, we would have a Mind Your Business segment before this. And we're going to actually have it after today's conversation because your girl forgot. And that's fine. You're fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. But I want to pause over here because Isaac Hayes III, you know who that is?
Would it be the son of...
Oh, look at that. Oh. Someone's using their academy education. So Isaac Hayes III, who was a producer, fixed his little crusty mouth to say, the Stallion situation is a classic divide and conquer. Shit was all good when 1501 Certified Entertainment was in charge. The attempted poaching of an artist from their first label has its consequences. That's what Meg is learning. The irony of it is that many of these new folks don't even like or respect Southern artists, musics, and labels. They're in it for the clout and the money. That's why the sound switches up immediately. What should have happened is Meg should have gotten so big as an artist that the leverage to renegotiate is in her favor, because at that point, everybody wins. Like I said, hashtag get out of Hollywood, shorty. Now, I hate when people using hashtag when it's not supposed to be there. Hashtags are specifically for photos so we can all enjoy the party together. Stop doing it. It's annoying. B, what's the last thing you put out, Isaac Hayes?
The third.
The third.
All right.
So,
okay.
Wait 2 seconds. I'm bringing this to this table because of the following things. One, I am a creative human. I'm a creative human who is also an artist, and I too am sensitive about my shit. I have seen countless artists, cousins, friends, siblings, parents, people who have been in and out of the business, who thought the contract said one thing and it didn't say another, who didn't have the right kind of lawyer and the lawyer's trying to mess over them, and that's it. And I understand, oh, well, you signed it. In fact, I don't understand that because you know that you were trying to rip me off.
It doesn't matter, though. She still signed it.
I can understand, but listen, she's not trying to get out of it.
I know, and that's
she's
fine.
I trying to renegotiate it.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's a problem.
I don't understand where the breakdown, like where it fell apart between her asking and them saying no.
Oh, I'm going to tell you how.
That's
because
I don't
because
understand.
the men got upset that she asked.
And that's ridiculous.
And that's here we are.
That's ridiculous.
And not even to Megan. To Khalees, to Day 26 and Danny Kane and Mace and the entire roster of Bad Boy that is still owed. I am just at a point in my life where I can understand artists not understanding the verbiage, and I can understand them signing it because they don't have, for them it might be the only way out. I don't know if that was the case for Megan. I don't think that. But there are plenty of artists who will sign the record deal because this is their chance to now.
Stepping stone.
It is a stepping stone. It is like kind of being able to go into like a fraternity or sorority. The idea is you get to be a part of these groups, and then when you get out of college, you can go and get other jobs. You have connections in all these other places. Further your career, further yourself, further the things you're trying to do. It's the same idea, with a record label. I am so weary. Now, the things that are in there are they want 40% back of the profit that she makes.
Back? Weren't they taking it in the first place? I'm confused.
They want 40% of the stuff that... So, in other words, Megan goes on a show and gets paid 15 G's to go do a show, which is not what she would get paid. That's a very low count. At this point in her career, she'd probably be making anywhere between 50 to 70. So, per show. No, she might make 50 or 70 per appearance. She might be making 80 or 90 per show, but that's besides the point. Let's say she makes 90 per show, and they want 40% of that. That's not even how that works on a tour. On a tour, you get that money back. If we're talking about promotional albums and stuff, that's not how that works. When I went to Full Sail, they tell you, like, your managers and the people who put you up there are only really supposed to get 10 to 15. 15 is if you're being nice, but the standard is 10. Y'all know that. If it was such a big deal about how, well, then we wouldn't get our investment back, then you know what you need to do?
But they are banking on artists not knowing that.
But you know what you need to do? You need to find other artists. You need to, if you are only putting your eggs in one basket, expecting one person to be, because honestly, we wouldn't know about 1501 Entertainment if it wasn't for Megan Thee Stallion. Especially if y'all are following her rules and her train or whatever. She's not asking to get out of it. She's asking to renegotiate it. The same way you sign a contract when you go to your regular job and you say, hey, I'd like to renegotiate my contract. That's it. That's all it is. It's the conversation, the allowing of conversation. So today's conversation is, Megan is the caveat.
Now the fact that they've said no, and now they're giving her shit about her album, like not releasing her album. Like, I don't understand why they won't just release the album. Why, what's the holdup?
Now the holdup is everyone's egos are bruised. They think that she doesn't have a right to do that. And that's what she's saying. Like, you're not going to hold up my music.
How many albums is she contractually
Good question. I'm not sure, but I know that my girl Megan stepped over top of them and dropped it anyway.
I'm sure she did.
And that's my kind of carrying on. It's called Sugar. Can't wait to get it. It's going to be out on March 16th. I am weary of Black business people who are far in the business, who have made it out of whatever treacherous thing they've been in, who have gone past every mountain, who have, Pharrell, you were playing drums in a marching band before Teddy Riley put you on Rub Shaker. They gave you a break. And men will look out for each other. I don't know if Pharrell got paid for that Teddy Riley shit. I know that eventually he was put in the same position as Teddy Riley. And instead of helping somebody, you want to push them down. I understand signing. I understand, you did what you did. And that's kind of what, unfortunately, that's what the red tape is. But before we even get to that, everyone is supposed to eat. This is like 50 years of record business bullshit. TLC, Drew Hill. I'm sure Jack.
Everybody.
It's almost like you can't. It's almost like you can't be successful in this business unless someone tries to fuck you over. Kelly Clarkson don't get fucked over. You know why? Because Kelly Clarkson had lawyers going into American Idol and was like, "I'm not. If you win American Idol, every time for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life, you owe them 50 to 60% of what you make."
No, ma'am.
Because as far as they're concerned, they found you and they made you. Carl, You
For a
didn't.
show that may not exist in 10 years?
Can you? Carl, the baseball player, you didn't make nobody. You wasn't shooting with Megan when she was in the gym. Oh, a Kobe reference. R.I.P. You weren't. You're not part of her talent. So, okay, you pushed her behind it.
Let's see. Is he paying his managers 50% of his income?
Ask him.
Swinging a bat?
Hello. Jay Prince, are you playing? That's that other old man. And
Yeah, where does Jay Prince come into this? Because I'm confused about that one too.
I feel like he's the person that gives the money to. I feel like he is the funder of 1501.
Which is why nobody can say shit to him.
Or he feels like no one can say shit to him. But let me read you this nasty shit that he said.
Oh boy, about Megan?
Oh my God, it made me immediately angry because. He says. So Jay Prince, respect says.
Now, is this the father or the son? Because I know there's Jay Prince and there's Jazz Prince or something like. There's a
I think
father
this
and
is
a
the
son.
father.
So this is the father.
Okay. Give me 1 second, listeners. Let me just Google who Jay Prince is so that I'm sure about what we're doing here. But I'm just so tired of music executive. James A. Smith he's a CEO of Houston-based Rap A Lot, okay? Manager and Rockstar, and previously the manager of Floyd Mayweather, which is a red flag. A gigantic red flag. It doesn't say here exactly. I think he is the money behind 1501. But he says this. To end this, I give credit to where credit is due. Megan, along with her mother, who evidently could read, God rest her soul.
Wait.
Negotiate.
Okay.
Wait, let me find the first part, because the first part. Here we go. Sorry. Let me start from the top. He says, breaking news alert. 2 exclamation points, red ones. Houston, we have a problem. Now, there's a play on words there because Megan and him are both from Houston. Houston, we have a problem. Megan, along with Rock Nation employee, what is that name?
Gitanjali. Grace.
Beautiful name. Grace Liar. No pun. Decided to include my name in a lawsuit wrapped around the lies and stupidity. And we gonna get this shit straight. Now, let's deal with the root of this issue. The root is a familiar one of coming from a successful independent record label's perspective. We as independent record labels may make many sacrifices along with our artists. After we do all the hard work together with artists, it's a known fact that major record labels and established managers attempt to poach the fruits of our labor. Which, the fact that you said poach the fruits of our labor is, I don't even know where to begin. Because that's literally what we're talking about. Did you read that? Poach the fruits of our labor? You literally saying we are trying to take advantage of somebody. That's what that means. Okay. Whew. One of the first things that they do is criticize the deal that was raised from that artist from the dead. Now let's pause here. Megan Thee Stallion is not from the dead.
She's a new artist.
She's a new artist. I can think of some artists that are from the dead that could be revived. What about the Tony Rich Project? Remember him? He could be revived.
I don't know him. Who is
see?
he?
Exactly. He sounded like Babyface, but it was called the Tony Rich Project a long time ago.
All right,
There's
Tony Rich.
plenty of artists that are like under a rock somewhere. That's not what this is. The record labels and the managers don't want shit to do with these artists until the hard work, risk, sacrifices, resources have been spent by the little guys. Okay. This is the same technique of the culture vultures. I don't allow this to happen to me when New York and LA record labels attempt to take my artists, so they labeled me as malicious for fighting back. I didn't allow it then, and I'm damn sure I'm not going to allow it now. Let it happen to I'm damn sure I'm not going to let it happen to 1501 Records or any of the other independent record labels that I'm associated with. For the record, we have no problem with negotiating Megan, but we do have a problem with dictators. Huh? What? Where is the dictatorship? Because I asked you if we can renegotiate? Oh, because I stepped out of line, now I'm being a negotiator? I'm now being a dictator? Okay. I find it very interesting that Roc Nation would allow their employee to sign an affidavit and statement full of slanderous lies on my methods of doing business when we have partnered together on several occasions. I don't think Jay-Z is aware of this, but only time will tell. Huh? Jay-Z runs Roc Nation. And although I'm very annoyed with him currently, I'm almost positive he's doing his best to not screw them over like everyone else is or has been. So it's like they're literally trying to make it so that all they did was said, hey, this is in your contract. Mm-hmm. Just so we're clear, this is what this means. Megan, even though she has signed the affidavit, talked down and lied in court's documents on me. I understand how lawyers brainwash artists to milk them for funds and lawsuits and that they can't win. Know that they can't win. Megan seems to be a perfect candidate for this self-destruction. Any artist in the music industry will testify that a 40% profit share is a great deal, especially for an unestablished artist that till this day has never delivered an album. Sir, let me tell you what. 40% of what do you want from me? Now, I haven't signed a record label deal, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people in here in the comments like, boy, you don't even... I know what the fuck business is, and I know I don't owe you 40% of shit. I know if a record label gives you a certain amount of money to do whatever it is that you want to do for your album, you are then to make that money back
and pay them
their share of the things that they made. Mm-hmm. Anything else after that, the profit after that has nothing to do with you. That's it. That's business practice. That's what it should be. Now, you're mad because all the other millionaires, as they ask for... I was watching episode 11 Hip Hop months ago. Forgive me. Forgive me. You know that Stevie J and his sorry self got up there talking about he wanted one of them, what's her name? Esther somebody. He wanted a 45% management fee.
He barely manage his own life, and you want 45% to manage somebody else's career?
You booked a show and you want me to pay you 45% of what I get?
That's almost half of the money. To do what?
If I 10%.
I think I'm in the wrong career.
Obviously, but I
think I picked the wrong career.
Aren't we all? But I'm not in the business. The reason why we're in the right career is because we're not in the business of ripping people off. We are not in the business of fucking people over, knowing good and goddamn well a bitch barely be having $6 in her account on a regular basis for me to get to be a CEO. And it'd be like, oh, you're just coming up. Sorry, that's going to be 40% upcharge. What? Jay Prince, you got all this money. Carl Winslow, you got all this money. You got all this other shit that you're doing. You need to be better businessmen. When entrepreneurs have one venue and it only makes a certain amount of money, they create another one so that more money can come in. It's not Megan is stupid and Megan's a dictator. 40%, I can't believe that sentence blew me out the water. Profit share for and then you disrespected me too, because you said, will testify that 40% profit share is a great deal for an unestablished artist. Unestablished artist? She's on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That's this month. She has. You want to talk about hot girl summer was everywhere. Mm-hmm. She was on gosh darn SNL.
She's been everywhere for the past
year. For the past year. What are you talking about unestablished? We don't know who you are. We just had to Google who the fuck you are. Talking about Megan's unestablished. You know that Fever project? I keep begging for the Fever movie to come out because it's supposed to be Kill Bill themed. That's like my new favorite rapper with my favorite movie. We never got it. I wonder why. Because y'all sit on shit that you feel like, and it doesn't work like that. There's more. To this end, he says, I give credit to where credit is due. Megan, along with her mother, who evidently could read, God rest her soul, negotiated a good deal.
So now she wants to negotiate a better one.
Wait. I extended my hand to meet with Megan, T. Ferris, and team personally for further negotiations. Unfortunately, it's never happened, even though we're all in Houston, because she's being controlled by the very people who started this shit. The homie Carl was an angel in Megan's eyes when he was spending hundreds of thousands investing in her career. Now that he's helped her become a successful artist, she stopped paying him his percentage and views him as the devil. I'm glad money don't make me. I make money. Let me tell you something here and now so that I'm crystal clear. Megan Thee Stallion's mom passed and had a brain tumor, which is extremely tragic. And if I'm not mistaken, I think her grandma passed shortly after. You don't ever, for any reason, get to bring up the fact that my mom could read, implying that I can't read. A, and B, oh, well, evidently she could read, so she signed a good deal. Sir, you can go fuck yourself. Don't ever fucking bring up my mama who's deceased in the midst of y'all trying to renegotiate with me and then try to use that in my face as bait. So that's where, for me, this whole thing took a turn, right? So, the first... You first.
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Because I'm like at the end when he brings up Carl Crawford being a saint and funding her career, and she stopped. Is he still funding her career? Why is she still paying him if she's gone elsewhere to do her
The answer is no. But
if he's paid up, then what do I owe you?
Aside from all this, right? Because this is a cut my check. I'm talking about you need to do better by me, but this is also poses an even greater conversation here at this show. I don't know what water y'all drank. I don't know what blacks y'all smoked. I don't know what strand of weed y'all got vaping through your house. I don't know if somebody pissed in your cereal. I don't know if... you got hit by a car or you smacked your little head on the pavement. But I want to know, where was the turn for black men? What was it where black men decided that they could talk to any black woman from the ages of birth to Harriet Tubman? That you can talk to me any old type of way. If anyone had mentioned Jay Prince's dead mama, if she's dead or not, God, I hope she is not. And if she is, continue to rest her soul. If any person were to mention his mom in the midst of all this shit to prove a point, now I've seen a couple interviews with him. I do know that he's a gangster. He comes after people with that. I don't doubt. I doubt that. But I also don't doubt that you would have had somebody underneath the ground for saying some shit like that to you.
Absolutely.
And you want to talk about dictatorship? You want to talk about talking down to people?
I'm sure Jay Prince is running a dictatorship.
Whoa.
His label.
When I read that, Natasha, I immediately got hot. Who the fuck are you talking to that you think you can ever say some shit like that to me? You don't know me like that. You mad because I don't want to play in your little club. You mad because I don't want to come to your little party. You mad because I don't want to do what you said I got to do when I don't. I asked you to renegotiate. I didn't say, can we get out of it? I didn't say, fuck y'all. I didn't say, I'm going to rob y'all. I didn't do any of that. There are artists that have gone up to offices with guns, bats, everything, ready to blow the place up, beat y'all up for the money that y'all owe them. And that's trifling within it in it of itself. But you want to take it a step further and you want to bring up my mama who just passed? Oh, no. No. We will fight. Those are fighting words.
And she looks like she could beat his ass up.
Okay. She not 2 weeks before this, she talked about how she was fighting her boyfriend in the parking lot and had to go to jail had to get arrested behind that. Jay Prince is all of 5'4". Megan Thee Stallion is 6 feet. Are you kidding? You want to talk about money don't make you, I make money? Not like this.
Mm-mm.
Not in this regard.
I'm sure the money's made him.
Oh, I'm positive of that. Anybody who's falling behind poor Mayweather, I'm proud. How dare you? L.A. Reid, Babyface, Pharrell. When they had that whole thing about Pharrell and Khalees, about how Khalees was like, you know, they literally were stealing money from me. And when I brought it to them, they were like, oh, well, you signed the contract. How it is so demeaning for you to think that it's like someone plays a joke on you and you laughed about it, but then you went home
And you thought about it.
And
Unfortunately, when it comes to these contracts, it's like you can't go and think about it after. I mean, you can always ask and renegotiate, but unfortunately, it's up to them to say yes or no, yay or nay. And it's all about what happens after that makes or breaks your career.
And where I get annoyed at that is that it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to, but there are greedy people out there who are banking on you not being educated in certain things.
And it doesn't have to be that way.
And that doesn't make you stupid. It just makes you... not everybody knows everything about the law and is going to sit there and read word for word and analyze and study what their contract reads, especially if you're coming from a certain place where you don't have it, and to hire like a lawyer to go over this stuff for you, and you're looking to get out of something into something new. Of course you're going to sign it.
Yeah.
Of course she signed it. And a lot of people would sign it.
Yeah. I get it. I can totally understand why. I can understand how. I can understand how people get in this situation. But I'm very weary of the blame going on the artist. Because
Which is why it seems like a lot more artists are going independent and starting their own thing to get out of...
That is the irony in this situation, that she went independent.
Independent.
And here we are.
And it's still happening like the big labels.
It is like nuts to me. And it's like... I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to men, because I'm sure it does. But there's something like you'll cheat girls out of what they got because you think girls aren't smart. And it's like you just, oh, well, you're smart, you can figure it out. And then, you don't explicitly explain it to me, and then someone else does. And then I step to you like, okay, well, now that I do know, let's change it so that we can all be in this together. And you want to get hot with me? You want to now take it into, oh, well, that's your problem. It's the attitude behind it for me. It's this pompous, like, that's not my problem. It's not your problem. I'm your fucking artist.
It is your problem.
It is your goddamn problem.
And now you want to stop the release of an album. Isn't that stopping your money too? Does that make sense?
Because you ain't got nobody else to sign up there that is as big as Megan is.
Carl Crawford, you gonna put money back into this record label? Are you gonna rap?
Listen, they hiring over at the Yankees, I think, if you want to go back over there and get on some bases or whatever. I'm sure Floyd Mayweather needs something cleaned or plucked or whatever. I am so tired of the male figures in the lives of Black women, whether it be in entertainment or whether it be in personal lives, and y'all just leave us out here hanging. If it was Jay Prince and someone said all this crazy shit to him, and
it would not fly. Not
only would it not fly, but every Black woman would be out in the street with a T-shirt like "Free Jay Prince," because how could they do that to this poor Black man? And how could we be out here and let him suffer like that and give him his money and give him everything that he's owed? But
fight for it. The shoe is on the other foot.
Here's the shoes on the foot, and all I am asking you to do is consider the fact that I need a change. And it comes with that kind of toxic masculinity for me. Regardless of, it's just like saying, oh, I can't believe I'm going to bring this nigga up.
Go ahead.
The man in the mask who has recently been arrested for all of his sexual allegations for the children. He made all those wonderful songs. And by wonderful, I mean awful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, him, I can't say his name. It's like Candyman. He'll just like appear. I heard men in the street talking like, well, I don't even know what the problem is. If they're willing to go with him, why is he in trouble? What? They're underage. They don't know. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know. It's not like
he does.
And he does.
And again, he's banking on them not knowing.
And he's banking on them not knowing. Don't act like y'all are not banking on me not knowing. And then when I find out, you want to now be mad at me. That is rape culture, toxic masculinity at its finest. And it happens so much between black women and black men. And I have had it. I am completely done with that. Goodness, my nose refuses to just clear. But it's like, that's not why I'm here. If you need, listen, how much is it to do this, and this? Okay, I paid you that. What is it that you're expecting in return?
And wasn't she the one like paying for all her producers, all of her sessions, and
right?
Her manager, wasn't that all?
That's all Megan. That's all Megan. So,
and isn't that stuff that the label usually is supposed to
supply?
Cover?
Absolutely.
But then she loses control over her music if she does that. Doesn't to a degree. Doesn't.
Okay. Which is why she can't. Which is why that was the whole discrepancy of what can she.
So what is your 40% doing for me, sir?
What am I paying for? For you to get on Instagram and tell me what my mama did? It's also this very sense of like girls should be seen and not heard. It's also very much like give her candy, tap her on her head, pat her on the butt, and let her go kiss her on the cheek and let her go on her way. That's rape culture. And by that I mean the idea behind you doing something to me that I am not comfortable with, and I tell you no, or I tell you stop, or I say, hey, I'm uncomfortable with, and then you got the nerve to be, and then you want to blame me. They asked Khalees if she would ever work with Pharrell again. She goes, there is a difference between being young, and there's a difference between stupidity. I just can't put myself back in that position. I'm not saying that people who are victims of rape or people who are victims of this put themselves back in that position, but I can understand not wanting to be in that environment when we are supposed to be homies outside of us doing business together. And I ask you straight up, like, hey, it feels like you guys are stealing from me. You two are making all this money, doing all this great shit, and here I am out here making songs, making albums, busting my ass like y'all are busting your ass, and still and all, you think it's okay to steal from me? And then when I step to you about it, you got a nerve to have this that comes behind it? I realize that it's very difficult to do, but when I become who I become business-wise and entrepreneurial-wise, listeners, I want you to mark my words. It will be within my power to work for the artists. That's it. The whole point is for the artists to be able to do what they want to do and get paid for it. There is a job that you do as far as shopping it, putting it out promotion-wise, making sure that you have the photo shoots. Okay, all that stuff is valid. And you will get compensated for that. But it doesn't mean you have to rip somebody bare of what they're worth. I'll never forget when TLC got up, won their award in them really cute outfits, really cute white outfits, and everybody looked all gorgeous. And they're like, how do you guys feel about winning this Grammy? And they're like, we're broke.
You can't feel anything because I can't eat.
Oh, well, you didn't read your contract. You're supposed to read your contract. Oh, well, I mean, you signed it. You knew what the fuck was in that contract. And like you said, you banked off of what. And honestly, I would rather you say that. Say that shit out loud. Let's be clear about it. Say that.
Probably stay with just at the legal limit of what you can take from somebody.
Say that. Say what that is so that we're clear, so that...
Look, at what point is it not robbery?
At what point? At what point? Oh, because you don't have a physical gun or weapon to my head means that it's not robbery? That's like saying, you know, because I don't say the N-word means I'm not racist. No, that's not how that works. Like, so to all of the master moguls or the moguls in training and the like, you would be better served not ripping off the artists.
Look at all these great artists that Diddy had that. Where are they now? All of the talent that was at Bad Boy, where are they now?
Diddy had that whole speech about how we need to, yelling at the Grammys, talking about we need to support black music and put us in the forefront and everyone copies off of us and we need to be better about how we treat our artists.
You everyone at the top of that list, sir.
Everyone knows that Diddy is a problematic fave for me. He's got to be my fave. He texts me. Exactly. And I answer. You know, Diddy is a problematic fave for me. But it's a problem. Mm-hmm. It's a problem when you are, and I use this word a lot, but you're doing yourself a major, major, major disservice when you make it out by the grace of God. And you get to a point and you got all these blessings and you got all these things coming to you because of the things that you built for you to then screw up everybody else that comes up behind you.
And you still doing. You need a tissue?
Yes, please. I'm sorry. Sorry, listeners. I don't know what it is every time I start talking. But yeah. You got all these people. You got all these people behind you. You got all these people that are supposed to be. You're supposed to carry them, and you don't do right by them, and you don't put them in the right spot, and you don't set them up. And then when they try to step to you about it, you got the nerve to say, "Thank you." When you try to step to them about it, you got the nerve to say, like, oh, well, you know what Diddy said to Mace?
What?
Diddy was like, I guess Mace tried to step to him and say, like, hey, you know, can I buy back my masters from you? After all the smoke had cleared. And Diddy was like, well, there's a white guy in Europe that wants it for 50 G, so unless you can match it, then no.
Are you serious? The person who you was coming up with, whose music you have, is up to the highest bidder now, not the person who's been loyal to your company and who's been loyal to you. Excuse the
ASMR. We should have a reminder, like, Elsie, did you blow your nose before we get on the show?
We're going to put up a sign somewhere.
Blow your nose. It just don't make no kind of sense. It don't make no kind of sense that you were out here partners with somebody. Been around the world and and more money, more problems, this, and, you know, all this shit, and the Mason world, and all the shit that comes with it. And now all I'm asking you to do is pay me what the fuck I'm owed. Let me have my master so I can release it, do what I want with it. I can go perform it. I can do whatever it is so that I can eat.
Exactly.
Why is that difficult?
He should have been the first. He should have told the other person, look, I'm going to see if Mace wants his.
I don't understand.
Before I sell it. If he says no, all yours.
As
long as he wants it, I can't sell it to you.
All these rappers and
that's
moguls.
What loyalty does.
Hello.
That's what supporting the black community does.
Hello. All of these rappers and executives talking about, oh, I'm from the streets and we used to eat cardboard for dinner and I was out here and I was doing this, that, and the third and and you know I came from the gutter and I came from the bottom. Okay, cool. So then you want to get up to the collar and you want to get up from the gutter and then now you want to use everything in your power to destroy. It's like selling crack back to the community.
Do you see Chinese people coming here, making all this money and not supporting their people? They don't do that. Mm-mm.
You know who's the best at that? Jewish people.
That's them too.
Jewish people will not like you, but let your mother's name be Moira Huckovich. Okay? And they move you to the front of the... I was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, boy.
One of my favorites. It's a good show. And who's Larry's heavyset friend? I forget his name. Is it? It's not Jeff, but it's Jeff.
Is it? I think so. I feel like
Jeff's wife, Sandy,
she
is my absolute favorite character. And they went on vacation, and Larry was dating this girl, and she was like, "Ugh, I don't like her." And he was like, "Oh, why? She's Jewish." Immediately changed her whole entire thing. Now she was bubbala, and where were you, bar mitzvah, and all bat mitzvah, and all this other shit.
Let me find you got a drop of Jew in you.
Come on, right? Drake everywhere. He's fine
by everyone. Everyone. He's
another problematic faith. Problematic faith.
Mm-hmm.
I am ruining the day. Well, that I will have to give up Drake. I'm not excited about it. I know it's coming, but did you see him too? What? He made this new song and he called his fucking baby moms a fluke.
No, okay. So, no. All right. So here's the thing with that.
Me.
No, okay. So a fluke can be a good or bad thing. Sorry.
A message from the front.
Has to do with the kids.
It's okay. Are they okay?
Oh no, they're fine. Just schedule it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Fluke.
A fluke. There was no relationship behind it.
Okay.
The fluke was she wound up getting pregnant, and he's appreciative of the son. But there was no. It was a fluke. It happened, and a good thing did come from it.
Yeah,
but there really was no relationship behind it.
Cool.
There was never.
Cool. All of that is fine. All of that is great. You know how I know it's great? Because that girl is well taken care of in some place that is warm.
Mm-hmm.
Her child is getting all the love that it needs.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting everything she needs, and that's it. You know what you can do? Keep my fucking name out your mouth. That's what you can do.
Because I'm sure she's not allowed to speak or show.
Hello?
I am absolutely sure.
Hello? Calling me a fluke because...
Anybody set eyes on Drake's son yet? I'm sure that's in a contract.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. You got the nerve to be out here calling me a fluke when I bared your child. I bared your fucking child. You know good and goddamn well that I signed NDAs and I ain't supposed to be saying nothing to nobody. Otherwise, all this shit can end. And I'm really just trying to be here minding my business because, listen, if I could avoid having a baby with somebody who's famous without having to get any kind of flack about it, I would have.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. If I had Drake's baby, say what you want. Just, keep my bank account full.
Which is, hello.
That's keep the bank account full, all right?
The real tea here is... The tea here is yes, we're interested, and where can we sign up?
Where can I
Clifford
sign
and
up?
I will talk about it. We'll figure it out. But what because if it means, a few extra 100,000 in the account, you don't have the right to treat women any old fucking type of way because you can. Because if it was your mom's...
Okay, I was about to say something.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
I can't.
You must.
It's kind of anti-woman. I can't do that.
Oh, you can't?
I can't do that.
Maybe it's intersectional. Go ahead.
I was going to say the real fluke is that she's the one that wound up pregnant out of all the women.
Which is what he's saying, essentially, right?
Pretty much.
And that's fine. I get that. But do you know how the scrutiny behind that... in the general, and then for you to get on song and call me a fluke, I didn't expect to get pregnant either. She didn't have the baby by her goddamn self. She didn't just touch it. She didn't just touch his shoulder and then immaculately concepted. Because for all that, she was standing on the other side of the room.
But he said, baby mama's a fluke, but I still got love for her.
Oh! How dare you? 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 It's so disrespectful. And Future is disrespectful. Oh, he's always been disrespectful.
I can't with Future. Like, he's been off my list, from the beginning.
And I feel, can I tell you, this is kind of off topic.
A Future song comes on and I have to switch it. I can't really listen to his voice.
That's where we're at right now?
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, my.
I cannot.
I don't know if I've ever
First of all, I don't know half the shit he's saying anyway, so...
It's hard to make fun of it, but I'm not. But, because it's not going to be. We're no
Somebody break down the lyrics for me because I don't know.
Because he has a new song out with Drake, and it's
And
amazing.
I hear everybody just wants to hear Drake's part and not Future's.
Oh, I hear everyone wants to hear Future's part and not Drake's. I'll be playing it. I do have an announcement. I'm gonna. I'll announce it at the end. But this idea that you can talk and treat women any old type of way. Future with this woman. She's
He
like
needs a vasectomy. Somebody get him a vasectomy, please.
A. And then B, he has a baby with this girl. And, you know, the girl's like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I know this is this nigga's show. That's it. And you know what I think?
He knows it's his child.
You know what I think? I think he's only doing it because she's dark brown skin.
Right?
It feels like that. It feels like the only reason why you're giving her so much hell.
You want to talk about a fluke?
Ha! Dark skin women are never a fluke. They are the superior. But what I'm saying is that
exactly. But
to Future is acting like, you know, it's a fluke because he's essentially acting like it would have never happened because I would have never had sex with a dark-skinned girl, and that's why she's lying. But she's not lying. We've already seen
the test between the two.
Oh my God, that was a great time. That was a good time for me. Because it was like, black women are undefeated. Okay, so if you're not going to give it to me, hey, baby mama number 7, you busy on Friday, girl? Come on down. Let's have a play date. Can I just take a swab of your... She said, I mean, I don't know who her baby father is, but they brothers and sisters, so... She's like, I'm tired of hearing about it. You want me killed. You are out here literally trying to ruin my life, ruin your kid's life. All over what?
I can't with him.
I don't know. I blame...
And poor Lori Harvey is over there blind as a bat to all
I don't
shenanigans.
know if it's poor Lori Harvey. I think
Maybe not, but
Lori Harvey
still,
is as calculated as she is fine.
I hope she's careful, though, because...
Yeah, I just don't want her to get pregnant.
Exactly.
I just don't want you to get pregnant.
Come on.
You know why? Because she has the potential. And I'm gonna say this clear. Lori Harvey has the potential to turn this boat around. She has... if there's anybody who could pull a Future on Future, it would be Lori Harvey. And I gotta tell you, say what you will and won't, I can't wait for the day. I am patiently waiting in the sidelines for Lori Harvey to just rise up and take the whole thing. I don't know if it will happen.
Is she an informant? Is she a secret informant?
I don't know, but girl, you see that she almost got robbed from her car, but she didn't do anything because she had the I didn't realize. Tiffany could be like, yo, why did she walk away? She has the goddamn key fob in her hand. It is a dangerous combination because women are beautiful in general, but when you are Lori Harvey beautiful, and then you're smart on top of it, girl, that is a lethal combination. And I'm just waiting for her. You know, I'm just waiting for her because you know, of course, how I would want this to all end. How do I want it to end, Natasha? You take a gander. Take a guess.
Well, with Future on his knees and Lori
running to Drake? Yes, that's what I
on neck.
Yeah, I would want it to be Future's begging her for forgiveness, and she ends up with Drake.
What a slap!
What a slap in the face!
No, I think we could. I think we could do better than Drake, though.
Oh, we can absolutely do better than Drake. We can absolutely do better.
Because Drake is about 5 seconds from being on the Future level at this rate.
Boy, I hate when my problematic faves are problematic. But
Future's just problematic.
I don't know if I've ever considered him a fave. I like his music. There's verses of his that I think are lit. There are songs of his I think are lit. I'm not running to go see him in concert per se, but I think it would be a fun time. But I'm not out here like, Future! No. But that concludes today's topic. I want y'all to to my artists, I want y'all to read it, reread it, get a competent lawyer, that can understand
In
it.
the days of the internet, we can type some of these phrases in and see what
Sure,
they really mean.
absolutely.
If you can't afford a lawyer, we all have access to internet and phone at this point, at this day and age. We can look certain things up. Like, I know when I'm working and I don't know what something is, I have to look it up.
Yeah. If we don't have the money, if we don't have the
Just
internet,
like, if
do our
somebody
best
puts
to find
a
it.
contract in front of you, you take it, look, I'll be like, look, I'm going to go over this. I just need a little bit of time to review.
Right.
They can't say no.
And
if they really want to sign you, they can't say, look, it's now
Yeah, the
or never.
worst. Right. The worst.
If they do say that, that's a red flag.
And I'm pretty sure she read it. She said that she read it. I believe that she read it. She's not an idiot. She is college educated at the time. When you're 19 and 20, it's just kind of like not something that you're thinking about. Mm-hmm. And they, like you're saying, like we said the whole episode, they are counting on the fact that you don't know. And they're counting on the fact that you're not going to read it thoroughly. Mm-hmm. You know, just because her mama signed it and God rest her mama's soul doesn't mean that she doesn't want to change it afterward. And she's entitled to do that. To my entrepreneurs and businessmen, specifically.
Look at all these athletes going in and renegotiating. Look, I'm doing real well. I'm making all these baskets. I'm shooting all these hoops.
Everybody's
I'm
here to
all these
see
home
me.
runs.
That's right.
They're coming to see me.
Carl, you know what renegotiation is. I know you do, because I'm sure everyone's out of needs more than whatever it is you're giving her. I know you know. To my moguls and to my entrepreneurs and businessmen, I need y'all to be better. I know that's difficult.
Specifically the one supporting the Black community.
Specifically the one supporting the Black community. I need you guys, when we're talking about people looking out, when we're talking about giving back to the community, this is part of it. This is part of you doing your service. We're not
saying do things for free, because that's not the answer.
That's not the answer either. But we are saying,
be fair.
Be fair. And just be, and understand that the same way somebody gave you your shot, whether you had to build it from the ground up, because even then there's still some doors you have to knock on. Whether you built it from the ground up or you were lucky enough to be invited in, somebody cut you a break.
I was cut a break and doing what I do.
Right.
I wouldn't be here if somebody didn't cut me a break.
And we're not even talking about cutting break. Somebody was fair to you.
Absolutely.
All we're asking, and all Megan and all any woman ever, for anything that we're going through, is asking for is fairness. That's it. That's it. I don't want to have to be called a dictator when I say, can I renegotiate? I don't want to have to get all this fucking attitude and grief and shit, and you want to bring up, stuff that has stuff that has nothing to do with you, that's sentimental to me, all because I stepped out of what your little fucking box is. I don't need all that. I just want fairness. And I'm entitled to fairness. Fairness is not hard. Fairness is not difficult. I'm not asking for anything crazy. So, that's today's topic. Nobody asked me, but Cut My Check, Part 2, Protect Our Artists, and we'll be right back. This episode of Nobody Asked Me But is brought to you by So Music Entertainment. If you're looking for a professional recording studio to record your music projects, podcasts, voiceovers, or whatever your audio needs are, for a reasonable price, look no further. Visit SoMusicENT.com. That's SOHMUSICENT.com for more details. You can also follow them at SoMusicENT, which is SOHMUSICENT on Twitter and Instagram for a free consultation. And a special shout out to Mr. Ash, the engineer who mixed and edited our podcast today. And you can follow him at Mr. Ash X, which is MRASHX. They have some of the best engineers here at Soul Recording Studios, so don't wait any longer to make your dream project a reality. Visit SoMusicENT.com or call 929-900-6044 now. And let's get back to our show. Okay, and we're back. And so it's now time for people to mind their business. So, oh, dear. So I was watching Life After Lockup.
Oh, yay, a fun favorite.
A fun favorite. And the couples on there
Because they've got some new couples, right?
They got some. Well, they have. So there's a
Some
couple
old
from
and-
mainly old, but some from like the Love After Lockup season that just passed. But in particular, I'm talking about Michael. Michael is the black man who is married to Sarah.
You're still talking about them.
And
Megan.
and singer Megan.
She's a singer now?
Please.
She's a singer now?
She was always a singer. I think that's why she was excited about doing this for Sisters. But there's a scene of her like in her kitchen, like, what it's gonna be. I wanna really gonna see. I miss you. I wanna talk to you. What we gonna do about it? Like,
She really still hung up with this Michael?
like wig forward to the side. Legal pad out. Bubbled writing, like they have that when they go to that. There's so many singers that have that. It's like feels like you bite a lemon and your face is like. But when they go into like their high register, it's like. So, Megan's essentially out the picture at this point because he has a new girlfriend, Maria. Yeah, you gotta go back and catch up, girl. It's crazy.
How?
How? Well, apparently,
There's 3 people walking around that can't find somebody, but you can find 3 women that want you in jail? Does that make
he's
sense?
out of jail now. He's trying to say that this girl that he is with now was before Sarah.
And what does Miss Sarah have to say about that?
Well, we don't know yet. We'll find that out next week.
She don't know.
But no, she knows who that is.
Okay.
Because Megan doesn't know that he has a whole new girlfriend. But he has a whole new girlfriend.
Megan, my queen.
She gave you Sarah called her. What about your queen, Megan?
Yes, Sarah, yes.
Disrespectful. So, anyway, Michael got to be like 23. Like they're both very,
Young.
very young. He's got to be early 20s.
He's like 120 pounds wet. I mean,
girl.
tiny. Like, what you doing for me, sir?
Tiny. Just skinny. I can't take a skinny thing. But I can see why people like it because he's charming.
Yeah.
He got all the words. He's all the polite. He has all the jokes. He's charming. Child, he went out and found him one of them, like...
He trying to get one in every race now?
Oh, yes. Now, Maria... I'm sure Maria on paper...
We get Mei Ling, call me, because I need to see that.
I don't want to do this shit.
Call me when Mei
Not
Ling
Mei Ling.
Call me when Mei Ling comes in the picture.
I'm so sad. For those of you that don't know Life After Lockup, Michael's character has had a white woman, a black woman, now has a Latina woman, and so that's why she made that joke. Okay, so Maria on paper got to be 33, but in person she looks like 42.
Oh, that's terrible.
And she's literally like, oh well, like I don't want there to be drama, and
Does she not know who she's dating?
She still wants him, and
Which she? Because there's a lot of she's out there.
there is someone that still wants him. It's not Sarah. Well, Sarah still wants him, and it's not gonna fly well with me. And I just want him to be able to see his kids, because that's really who. It's like she has so much mouth about what's going on for a situation that literally does not pertain to her. And so for that, Maria, I need you to mind your fucking business. Also on my mind my business list.
Yay.
I had to take a deep
Hit me
breath.
with it. Come on, I'm ready.
So
I'm ready.
Sean King, everyone's favorite false priesthood.
Everyone's favorite false priest. The false prophet of Black America.
Oh dear. So, If you don't know who Sean King is, just do us a solid and just go to Google.
Surprised if you don't know who Sean King
Yeah, I'd be surprised listening to this. The blogs, several podcasters, I have not coined this phrase at all. I believe it was Crystal from The Read or Kid Fury from The Read, who I mention often. Shout out to them. I love you guys. They affectionately call him Talcum Egg.
If that is not appropriate, I don't know what is.
Also, so that I
That
can
is
just,
hilarious.
Can I just clear this up? Because I had to Google, because someone was like, he's not even black. I was like, but we can see in his face that he's black some kind of way. What happened was that his father is really light, but his father was white passing.
So he was one of the fair-skinned blonde people.
Correct.
Like,
But his mom is white.
he's white. So
Here we are.
he looks like he has a drop of something in him. literally.
Something's interesting in there. Yeah. But even in facial feature, it's like, I can see it. But he also has a black wife who looks like me, kind of.
Right.
Time. Just for context. When I tell you this kind of Negro got on,
Because at this point, he's a Negro.
yeah.
If we have to claim anybody that does a drop, we'll do like
I would. God. Yeah. Right. The 99% definitely it applies to this. So I'm just minding my business on Twitter, and I can't believe this. So Rachel Maddow was talking about, you had to delete it. You had to delete that, but Playboy, because that's not how that
I'm
works.
sure you can Google it and find it.
Right. Thank you. So as you guys
Somebody
know,
got a screenshot.
it's Super Tuesday. What's my girl's name? Rachel Maddow. It's Super Tuesday. We're all the entire country is in shambles. If you haven't seen it already,
Yeah, for the past 4 years about.
yeah,
least.
for at least it's been like this brewing, growing like shit show, and essentially, everyone is reporting about it. All these things are happening.
Man, I am in a bubble. What is going on? What did he say? What did Sean say now?
Also, while I'm here, I'm really fucking tired of people like Sean King, Jay Prince, people who are not of the news, and they start their tweets or their captions off with "breaking news." You're not the news.
I didn't know you were a journalist.
Oh, I
okay,
didn't
that's
know.
news to me.
Yeah, same with the guy that's running the joint. Breaking news, fake news, guys. That is left, because when you say that, I'm thinking someone's dead,
Exactly.
and really what's happening
Or
is
this coronavirus has really ticked off, and we're all gonna die.
which, by the way, black people are immune to.
I got,
But we're not ready for that
and
conversation
my fridge
today.
is stocked up with ginger ale.
Oh, yes. Because that's what's going to kill it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Save it for the black nostalgia. But yes. Breaking at NMSNBC at Maddow, Sean King writes, Rachel Maddow just reported that multiple senior officials, in quotation marks, within the Democratic Party are interfering with the primaries to stop Bernie Sanders. They reported that the party has asked Bloomberg to drop out so that Biden would have an easier time against Bernie. Rachel Maddow said, wait. She said, no.
I didn't say that.
She said, wait, no, I didn't say that. So then he stands in it and goes, this is you, right, at Maddow? Did you not say the Bloomberg campaign is experiencing intense pressure from multiple sources from inside the Democratic Party and needs to quit? Seems like you. It seems like you literally said those words. If you play the clip says that Rachel Maddow specifically said this. She said, it is shocking to hear that Letterman says that the Bloomberg campaign is experiencing intense pressure. She herself didn't say that.
She said somebody else said
She
that.
said somebody else said that. And also, Rachel Maddow is a Rhodes Scholar on MSNBC. You are
I'm
on
sure
Twitter.
she's very careful with her words. I'm absolutely sure she's very careful with everything that comes out of her mouth and very calculated with everything that comes out of her mouth.
This is from, where am I? Fox News, my least favorite place. And they say, in the clip sharing by King, Maddow wasn't reporting the news, but quoting a colleague, and she had called the report surprising. The MSNBC host also didn't say officials were interfering, as King claimed. King, who has a history of being questioned for statements on social media, was not given the benefit of the doubt by her critics, political satirists, and
Given the benefit of the doubt about what, being wrong? Because he was wrong.
I'm going to stop right there. After I read that, I had to go back and listen, and I heard it the first time, and then I had to put the phone to my ear because maybe I'm missing something.
Plug the headphones in, get it
And I
all
mean,
in.
he just kept going. Like, this was like...
When you're wrong, you're wrong. Like, why are you wallowing in your shit? We smell you already.
Can I tell you what I did?
Now go take a bath.
I literally said, Madame Noir posted it. Shout out to Madame Noir. They posted the whole thing, and I retweeted it with the quote that says, "It's a great day to mind your business." And they retweeted it. Sean King, dear, I need you to sit this one out. I need you to take a break. I need you and Dr. Umar Johnson and sometimes Killer Mike, I need y'all to just reevaluate. Because sometimes your helping isn't helping. It's a hindrance. But first things first, mind your goddamn business. Mind your business. Mind your fucking business. We weren't even talking to you. Rachel Maddow is not the one that you want to start with. Also, this isn't the time to have this conversation. Anybody wants to mind their business?
No, because I'm minding my own business.
Okay.
So,
All right. Minding the business that pays me. Which now we can go on to our next part. If you're ever sick with a stomach ache or you have a cold that won't go away, you need something to bubble all that shit up. Get it out of your system.
Yes,
Start anew. A gingery taste, crisp and cool to the touch.
Nice and bubbly.
Nice and bubbly. Iced to the top.
With a golden hue.
With a golden hue. Where West Indians say, drink tea with ginger. Black Americans will say, get you some ginger ale. Now, we're not talking about any type of ginger ale. There's a specific type. Tell us what it is, Big Dawg Tash.
Canada Dry.
Whoa! Hallelujah.
If it don't say Canada Dry, then why are you buying it?
Why are you buying it?
Because it ain't medicine.
It ain't.
It's not.
The
not gonna heal you.
The Nicole Schweppes brand is not the appropriate. It's not the appropriate one for the healing. That's good for mixing, good for punches and the like. If you are feeling down and out, albeit hungover, diarrhea, constipation, colds, headache, there is anointing in Canada Dry. An anointing. Get your medicine. Heal it. Fix it. Because every single Black household at one point or another, Mommy, I don't feel good. Let's get you some ginger ale.
My mom used to say when I was pregnant and I would be like feeling gassy or whatever, or not feeling well, go get some crackers and drink some ginger ale.
A little saltine. And a nice ice cold. And let me be clear. I personally cannot have a ginger ale room temperature. It tastes like fizzled spit. Okay?
Why?
Spicy fizzled spit. I don't need it. But you put that bad boy on ice and you drink a ginger ale and lay down.
Yes, ma'am.
Go on and lay down and put you on a show.
You are healed.
Delivered. Delivered. Okay? And that is today's Black Nostalgia. So, which brings us to
All right now.
the lesson of the day. Now, the internet is losing its gosh darn mind over
Can't wait. Say it.
Love is Blind.
Yes! Love is Blind.
Okay. And if you haven't watched that show,
go watch it, please.
go watch it
And let's
because
enjoy and revel in the ratchetness
because
as it is.
it is a lot of things.
I tell you, I sat there the whole 10 hours yelling at the TV.
It is, by now you guys already watched it, but for those of you that haven't, it's essentially a show on Netflix. It's a dating show where you do speed marrying.
Episode 1, I was losing my mind.
She's losing her mind because she's been married how many years now?
8 this month.
8 years this month, and knew him 5 years before that.
Is it? Maybe 3.
3 years before that. That's still longer than the 3 minutes behind a pod in this show.
Yeah.
So you basically get these two people. They sit behind a wall. They talk to each other. They have 4 days to propose. Then they go on a vacation. Then after the vacation, they move in. And then after that, they go meet their family. And then after that, they get married and try and have a life.
And this happens within, the span of a month?
Maybe.
If that?
If that. There has been a lot of discussion about a couple of couples in particular. So I'm going to highlight them
Triggered
both.
by specifically one person.
Correct.
In the coupledom.
Yes. Jessica and Mark, and Carlton and Diamond. I'm going to save the blacks for last.
Wait, Carlton and Diamond are the blacks.
I'm going to save them for last.
Okay. But Jessica and Mark.
Let's start there.
And then Amber and Barnett are the two couples.
Amber and Barnett are a lot. That's not who the lesson of the day is for, but get out what you want to say about them.
Oh no, just the shadiness of Jessica.
Yes, yes.
Because it involved Barnett. That's
correct. Why. Yes. Jessica is blonde. She is a blonde white woman, and Mark is what I would consider a white Mexican person. He's actually very handsome, I think, and he loves her to death. And she, if you ask me, she liked the idea of Mark
and before
seeing him, and then she is in love with Burnett, and wants to. I keep calling him Garnett like he's from Steven Universe. Burnett. She's in great show.
To watch.
Another great show. She's in love with Barnett and how Barnett looks. She's trying to find every excuse possible to not sleep with Mark, to not want to meet his family, to take her ring off, to put it back on. She disrespects him, talking about Barnett's hot while she's drunk. She is literally...
She goes up to Garnett. Now you got me calling him Barnett. And it's like, are you sure this is the right choice?
Right. So she just is a mess.
She was trifling through the whole thing. She was like snaking around trying to break up Barnett and Amber.
Right. Because she made, she felt like she made a mistake when she didn't. And Barnett said that he didn't know if he wanted to be with her. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. And that's what I heard. Mm-hmm. And she got mad about it. And then was like, never talk to me again. And then he was like, all right.
And ran back to Mark. And
ran back to poor Mark.
And was like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Right.
I was confused. No, bitch.
So that's the first problem I'm having.
You knew what you were doing.
Correct. That's the first problem I'm having because she's a piece of work. She is a thorn in the crevices of my ass. It's a pain. That's couple number one. Couple number two that has been catching a lot of flack. Good, it's a good word. It's Carlton and Diamond. Now, Carlton is a handsome young chap, as my father would sometimes like to say. And he, previously before this, was on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Was he?
As a friend to Cynthia.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think adds a little bit of level. Behind the pod... They were having a conversation with Diamond. Diamond is a cute girl that needs better friends in the hair and makeup department.
Yeah, in the reunion, she looked better with the hair and makeup. She did.
Good. I feel bad about
Thankfully.
saying that. I really, really, really hate when bad weaves happen to good people. I
Because
hate
he
it.
really laid it on her at the end. And I'm like, damn, you picked her like that.
Wait, this is at the reunion? Just wait.
I'm sorry. No, wait.
Oh, yeah, during
No,
the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, during the show when they started fighting.
Correct. Oh, we'll get there.
Please.
So they're talking. They fall in love. He proposes to her behind the wall. They end up on the vacation. They get to the vacation.
It was all good.
It was all good just a week ago. And then he says that...
Before he comes true, he starts treating her kind of salty.
Yeah,
He
just
was
a
kind of
little...
nasty to
Just
her.
kind of
And
nasty
she didn't
to her.
understand it.
Right. Just
So
a little...
She calls
It's a little
him out.
harsh.
Yeah.
So she was just kind of like, what's that about?
Yeah.
And so then when he finally explained to her what it was, the answer was that he was bisexual and he felt some type of way about it and didn't want her to feel upset. She then cried about it and then kind of touched his back to let him know, like, well, I'm still in supportive of you. And then thought about it the next day. And she really didn't come at him. She just said,
She needed to understand.
She just needed to understand why you didn't say anything to me about it. And
Because the idea of it was to get all of your vulnerabilities out in the pods while you don't see each other. And that would have been a great time for him to
express
that and let her know and come to her own conclusions. At the point, if you're proposing to somebody, that's something that they should know about your past.
Yes. Absolutely. And just because, not because it's like an information that you necessarily are going to use.
Right.
But it's just about the fact that it's like, we are talking about being honest. And if you can't be honest with me about yourself, I always think to myself, what happens when you didn't pay taxes? What happens when you left the baby standing outside in the rain? What happens when other big things come up in our marriage? Mm-hmm. And if you can't be comfortable talking to me about something that is a part of you, I don't know how you expect us to be here. So that raised a whole bunch of questions. And of course, he got very upset with her and started saying all this
Calling
awful,
her out her name.
Called her a
bringing
bitch,
up her terrible wig.
and said, that's why your wig is slipping. I don't deal with bitches like
Since
you.
day one, sir, you proposed to her and called her the most beautiful.
Did he see the wig? No.
No, but when he saw her, he was like, oh, she's the most... Up until things went sour, she was the most beautiful woman in the world to him.
But she's a beautiful girl. That doesn't mean her wig wasn't messed up. You got to call out... But where I started to cackle was when she got up out of her chair and threw the drink at him and then started reciting Beyonce lyrics as a comeback. He's like going off on her, fuck you, bitch. And she said, who the fuck do you think I is? She said, you ain't married to no average bitch, boy. Watch my ass bounce to the next big boy. Don't hurt yourself. And I was like,
life.
Wow. Wow. This is what it's come to. Mm-hmm. We are shouting Beyonce lyrics for the... Oh, that really took me out. Yes. But all of this to say... We don't have to do this. We don't have to wait at this age.
And it was the only full black couple on the freaking show.
Yes.
Like the only one.
The only one. We don't have to do this. And by this, I mean, Jessica, at age 34, you know...
Jessica was just a problem.
You know that you don't have to sit in a relationship that you don't want to be in at this point. You could just say no.
She was having a problem... She kept saying because he was 10 years younger, but she was still pawning after the other young dude on the show.
Correct.
He was
correct.
Equally as young.
You are having a problem, sweetness, because you need to go to therapy.
Yes, she does.
You need to go get some. We can see your singleness is showing, and we know why. Mm-hmm. We need you to go to therapy, and we need both partners to be.
And let me tell you,
up front
on the reunion, It looked like the stress might have aged her a little bit.
More than it already had? Oh, my God.
It wasn't looking good.
Yeah. If you guys would just relax and stop asking to speak to people's managers and moisturize, we'd be in a different space. So the lesson of the day here is be more upfront. And if you want to be famous or if you want to be put out somewhere, there's other ways to go about it.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
That concludes another fabulous episode of Nobody Asked Me, but
All right.
we had a great time today. The Culture Vultures is coming back. That's the announcement I had earlier. March 13th. It is in Harrison. I will leave the Eventbrite link to that and the Eventbrite link to John's show in the description box. I am also DJing at that show. And so I'd like for you guys to come out, have a good time, laugh, drink, and listen to some good vibes. Any announcements from you, friend?
No, I'm still just doing me.
You know,
Trying to hang in there. Trying
we are
to keep
waiting.
my head above water.
Keeping my head above water. R.I.P. Did you know that she sang the theme song to Fish Don't Fry in the Kitchen?
Really? That's her?
I
Please
felt
don't burn on the
yeah. I felt good and stupid.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Right? Black History Month
runs in
forever.
The Black community.
It just
And yet we tried to take advantage of each other.
killing me so